divorce court today. A chance encounter brought them together, and now, after 9 years, they are ready to call it quits. Rodney saved their baby's life, but then he made a comment at the hospital that Shanisha's still angry about. She says their roller coaster ride together is over. Rodney Johnson and Shanisha Tisdale have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Mr. Johnson, you say that from the moment you met Ms. Tisdale, it has been a roller coaster ride, and after 9 years and 2 children, you finally want off. Why don't you tell me how this roller coaster started?
Well, good day, Your Honor. This is lovely meeting you.
Good to meet you too, Mr. Johnson. Won't help you none, but thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
I gotta give it my all, you know, to be super honest with you. But starting from the top, my main goal is to try to decide on if I want to be with this young lady forever. We have 2 kids together. I proposed to her 2 times. I have a ring right here that I do plan on giving her. I've given her 2.
Now, Mr. Johnson, let me ask you something. This is divorce court.
Right.
You come in here and pull out an engagement ring. What would you like me to do?
I mean,
I thought you wanted to get out. You wanted me to give you some of her stuff.
I do, but I just want your opinion because I honor your opinion. And this is the 2nd engagement ring that I gave this woman, and I did take back. It was very immature, but like you said, the roller coaster is going up and down, and I just need your advice if I should.
But put the ring down.
Okay. Put it back in my pocket. Put it back in my pocket.
Put it right on back in the pocket.
Okay.
Tell me about the ride.
Okay, well, it starts off about 9 years ago. She was working at a restaurant. I happened to come in a restaurant. I usually go there all the time. I've never seen her before. So when I seen her, we locked eyes, and I asked her a question like, do you do bad things? It sounds crazy, I know.
But it's a line, I get it, I understand. You were trying to, yeah.
We're in a courtroom, so you can use your imagination, you know. It's a lot of things that people do that are considered bad. So, I mean, that broke the ice, and we had a conversation, and later on that night, after work, she came home with me, and she basically never left. And,
Hold up. You mean to tell me you meet a man that says to you, do you do bad things, and by the end of the day, you're alone with him at his house?
Yes.
How much sense does that make? I mean, I see that it turned out okay. He wasn't Ted Bundy or anything, but because you're still here.
No, not at
but
all.
doesn't that cause you some concern?
Not really, because when I locked eyes with him, it was like love at first sight. You know, I don't know, it was something about him, you know? You could tell when he said it, he didn't do it all. He doesn't do it often.
Might I say this, Ms. Tisdale?
Yes.
They said Ted Bundy was quite a charming young man. They said that women were falling from him as he was being sentenced to death for multiple murders. Some woman showed up and asked to marry him. Yeah. You know, just because you're smooth and cool and all that, don't mean you're not a serial killer.
I understand.
But Mr. Johnson, when did things start to get funky?
well, the first, say, year and a half, it was smooth. I mean, because she had so much love, trust, so it was easy for me to be myself, easy for her to be herself. We didn't really have any problems. A little shortly, after about 2 years, that's when the problem started. A lot of family members, a lot of other people's opinions, a lot of the trust started going downhill.
Give me an example of a situation where what someone said or what you saw or, caused you to be upset about and have trust issues with her.
Well, it wasn't really trust issues with her, it was trust issues with me. She didn't trust me as much as she did in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And it may be because of the repetition. Like when she calls, she doesn't call once, twice, 3. She calls 60, 70, 80 times.
In a day?
In a day? No, in about 5-minute period. I mean, we have smartphones now. You know how you have to
redial.
So easy to do it, you know, and right back,
Are you
right
blowing
back.
up the man's phone?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for him to act like he care. Sometimes he just seems like he don't care. I don't know what to do. It seems like.
What does he do that makes you think he doesn't care? Or what does he not do that makes you think he doesn't care?
The way he reacts is not what I want. He's not affectionate enough for me. You know what I mean? I need comfort.
And you think calling him 70 times in an
There you go.
hour
There
is
you
going
go.
to make him come home and say, ooh, baby, I love you. Is this how the reasoning goes?
No. I mean, I expect him to be more understanding. You know what I mean? Like,
That's hard to understand, though, 70 phone calls in an hour. I just want to say that. And I'm going to ask you this, Mr. Johnson, because clearly this is a symptom of, apparently, she's got a bit of a temper.
yeah.
Oh, you notice already?
Well, the 70 phone calls in an hour, those usually come together, a
Right.
temper and 70 phone calls. You give me a couple of examples where she's gone off the deep end.
The deep end. I can give you a simple example to where it starts. She
Okay.
complains about nothing. Okay, we could be sitting at the house and she could be like, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. And I would look at her and say, the AC is right there, just turn it on. And then she would get on my head about, well, if I wanted to turn the AC on, I would have did it. I'm like, well, why are you complaining that you're hot? It's no like ending to it. It's continuous. Just like the repetitive phone calls, it doesn't stop with her. That is the problem. She doesn't know how to pump her brakes at certain times. She let her emotions get the best of her. And it seems like that's what she knows as normal. And all I've been trying to do is try to show her that's not normal. We need to understand what we think is normal so we can be on the same page.
Ms. Tisdale, do you agree with him that you do get upset easily and over small things?
Yes, I do. I'm
And why do you think that is?
insecure.
You're insecure.
Yeah.
Why are you insecure with your gorgeous self?
I don't know. Low self-esteem,
Because?
life experiences, how I've been treated.
By whom?
Family members, you know, treated me wrong, lied to me, you know, affected my relationship with him a lot, letting them invade and make decisions for me that wasn't right and I regret later.
Next, what happened at the hospital after Rodney saved their baby's life? They got so out of control, police were called to the scene. Are you considering marriage but aren't sure that your intended is really right for you? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Real people, real conflict, real judgments. Divorce Court continues.
Ms. Tisdale, you say that Mr. Johnson made a comment so ridiculous during one of the most stressful points in your life that you actually left him over it. Why don't you tell me what was going on and what he said?
Well, actually, my daughter, when she was born, she was 12 days old and she stopped breathing. She almost died. He gave her CPR, and when we went to the hospital, we got into an argument because he said something so stupid and dumb.
But what did he say?
He gonna tell me that if my daughter turned out like me, he don't want nothing to do with her. So we got into an argument, we got into a big fight. I got angry with him because my daughter's laying in the bed, almost dying. And you say something like that to me. In the midst of this, we're supposed to be together and, you know what I mean, loving each other, and it was just crazy. And then they had to escort the police into the hospital. And
Now,
take
who
him.
was escorted out, him or you?
Him.
Between the time he saved your daughter's life by giving him CPR and he made that off comment, no doubt about it.
Very
Not the
wrong.
thing to say when somebody's kid's looking at,
agree.
you know.
I agree.
What had you done?
I didn't do nothing. I don't even know why he would say something like that in the midst
Were
of
you arguing at the time?
No. He just said it. I don't know if he was thinking about all the past stuff that we've been through, or if he was angry, or if he was, because it's a lot of times where he don't want to be with me and I have to beg him to be with me, you know, because I really believe this is the man of my life, you know?
Right.
And it got out of hand, and for him to say something like that.
Yeah, that was deep and tired and wrong. I mean, I gotta applaud you. You saved your daughter's life. Well, I mean, woo! Makes you Superman, but you lost your cape when you said that.
Right.
Ms. Tisdale, let me ask you a question. Do you ever forgive anybody for anything?
Yes.
You don't harbor?
Maybe a little.
I think you harbor. I think you never get over anything. I think he forgives and you harbor.
Yeah.
And so what happens is you're mad about A or you're mad about M and then you have to bring up A through N while you're talking about M. He's got to pay for everything he did every day. Am I right with that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Am I right?
Yeah, she just likes to talk too much. Like if she stopped.
Talk too much?
Yeah, if she stopped a little bit and thought about what she was saying, we wouldn't have the issues we have. You know what I mean? Like just for instance.
Is it my fault that you don't understand me?
I mean, but I'm trying.
That's the problem. You don't understand me.
I try to understand.
Well, let me ask you this.
I try.
How logical are your arguments?
There you go. There you go.
When divorce court continues, can Shanisha find a way to get her irrational anger under control?
Do you think this couple can stop arguing and patch up their relationship? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now, 1-800-282-1991.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
I take it from your response, Ms. Tyndale, that you do acknowledge or realize that logic is lacking in your responses.
Yes.
Do you know why you're like that? Because we see that you're the problem, right?
Yes.
I mean, I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. He's not perfect, but he makes regular mistakes. You the problem.
Yes.
So let's talk about the problem that you are, so we can. Cause we don't talk about it, we can't fix it.
Right.
And tell me, why do you think? Have you been cheated on? What you talked about your family members doing things to you? What's up with that?
I was 16 when I met my dad. Mm-hmm. I was told that he didn't exist all my life until I was 16. And then all of a sudden,
He
my
pops
dad,
up.
Right. And that put a huge hold on me growing up. The trust, the lying, you know, and I guess I carry it on throughout the years and then being in relationships, cheating and all this stuff. And I think I brought the issues that I had into our relationship and it's affecting it.
So you're always playing defense.
Yes.
You're always you got
defense.
your dukes up. You know, you ducking and dodging, and the minute like something look like you, boom,
Yep. Ready to go.
ready to go.
Brilliant. You are brilliant, Judge. You're hitting the dead on. Like, I promise you, you're hitting the dead on. That's why I wanted to come to this show.
No, you think I'm brilliant because I agree with you.
No, it's not that. I mean, I said I'm gonna try my best not to say the crazy word, crazy or crazy. She's not crazy. She's just scared of change. She's just terrified of change. Can I say a little quick thing that happened the other day? We're walking, and a car almost hit me. We're moving on. We're halfway down the block. She's still talking about the car that just hit me. Well, is he crazy? Why did he? Babe, we already moved on. Yeah. All my parts are here. You know, I'm here.
It's good, and I got hit, and I'm okay
and she's
with it.
Still talking about it. You know, like agitating the thing. And she needs to understand, avoiding the problem doesn't mean that we're not going to resolve it. But avoiding it until we're settled, we're calm, we're in a cool manner.
So you can have a meaningful, productive conversation as opposed to a screaming match.
Right, and that is normal to her, the screaming match.
Okay.
Top of your lungs screaming, not just screaming, top of the lungs.
Ms. Tisdale, the remainder of this session, I'm going to be talking about coming back from praising, okay? And I'm talking to you, and I want to say, first of all, To me, crazy is not an insult. I've been called crazy. It don't bother me at all.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
People used to be afraid of me. Talking to my sister, a few Christmases ago, and I was asking her, why, you never used to hang out. She goes, because you were mean. And in talking about it with my mother, I was mean because I was angry, and I was angry because I was afraid. So what you have to do is deal with the fear. The fear will take care of the anger, and the anger will take care of the crazy. The time to decide not to get angry about something is before you get angry about anything. You got to have a game plan in place for how you're going to conduct yourself, how you're going to deal with upset. And you got to know who you are. You got to dissect where you're weak, what's wrong with you. I got a list of 20 things I know that are wrong with me. I own it. I love it. I relook at it sometimes just to make sure I'm on top of it. Now, you're fearful, you're angry, and you've been hurt. And you're afraid that if you do not knock somebody out, verbally or whatever, that they're gonna take you down. So that's how you respond. So you got to own that every morning. And then you have to say to yourself, self, today, just today, I'm not going to get angry. Just today. Don't worry about tomorrow. And you got to let the first wave pass you by. I said, what I'm going to do today, he says or does something I don't like, I'm going to do like this. It's a ridiculous thing to do, but do it anyway. I surrender. Just surrender, not to him. You surrender to your better self. I surrender. And then you sit down. And you cannot speak until you're not angry anymore. You won't be able to do it the first couple of times. Right. But after a while, after a while. And then, at the end of the day, you got to debrief your crazy. You got to sit down and a piece of paper. Nobody believes in paper no more, but I do. Write down his. My big bugaboo is worry. I have a list. What I worried about. And then I put a line. And that said, what really happened? And when you read it at the end of the week, you feel stupid. I worried about this all day long, and that happened. And if you keep writing that down, I yelled at this guy about this, that, and the other thing, and it wasn't even important. You see what I'm saying? You need to work your situation. You need to handle your crazy. You need to handle your fear. And once you handle and you work at it, because you can do it. You see what I'm saying? Believe in it. Knock that sucker down. You're strong and you're able, and you say, anger is the problem. My fear is the problem. I'm not going to live my fear. I'm not going to let what somebody did to me 20 years ago tell me that the rest of my life ain't going to be what I want it to be. I'm a bad chick. I can handle this.
Man, tell her.
You want to believe. You with me?
Yes.
You going to work your anger?
Yes.
You going to work your fear?
Yes.
You going to fight your crazy?
Yes. Now look here.
This is divorce court. I don't do engagement in here, except for when I'm doing it. But, when you get out in the hall, go ahead and give her that ring. This matter is adjourned.
Shanisha and Rodney appreciate the judge's ruling. Shanisha is working hard to control her anger, and the couple has set a date for their wedding. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com.